Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the ways in which I look good for less and how you can do the same too. So let's get into it. So the reason why I was inspired to make this video is because I feel like a lot of us are spending a huge amount of money on clothes, and just general living in the UK is not cheap. And so I felt like there needs to be a way in which we can perhaps pare this back and realise that actually you can look good for less. And these are some of the tips and tricks and things that I do so that I can look good for less without breaking the bank. Okay, so for my very first tip, I would suggest you have a budget. And I know people's like, what, have a budget? Yes, you need to have a budget. It would also help if you have an income so you can budget. But I think it's really important that you specify how much you are willing to spend either per month on clothes or per week. Have that calculated, and that way it means you cannot go over that amount, and you can save yourself some money as well. So that's the thirst. That is the first thing I would say. Sit down and have a budget and calculate, do I want to spend £40 per item? Is £60 too much? Do I want to spend £100 on a whole outfit? You might not. So have a budget that works for you and your income. Tip number 2 would be to shop around. Do not buy the first item that you see. You could go into a shop, as I have done numerous times. I've seen one item that I really liked in a shop. I've gone online and I've seen something very similar for half the price. So I would say shop around. Don't just buy the first item that you see. There are likely to be more than one option or something very similar that can be tweaked and styled in a different way. And that way, rather than you buying just the first item you see, you've got a chance to compare the prices, compare the sizing, compare the quality, the material, etc. So that would be my second tip, to shop around and don't just buy the first item that you find in the shop. And the reason why I say it's really good to shop around is from personal experience. I think we've all gone into a shop and thought, oh, I'll buy this. It's the first item I've seen. I really like it. I'm never going to find it again. And actually that isn't true. There are lots of things that are made as replicas. Designers will be influenced by another person and make something very similar. Also from personal experience, I remember when I first got paid from my first job in my early 20s, I wanted to treat myself to this underwear set, and I was with my mum in the shop and I tried it on and it was beautiful, and the price was a little bit high for me, but back then I felt like I was rich, and my mum was just like, Dean, because that's what she called me, she's like, Dean, do you mind if we go in another shop and we can shop around? And it was the first kind of time I'd heard that term, shop around. She said, oh, try and make your money stretch, don't just buy the first thing that you see. And I was really annoyed because I thought, I've worked hard, I can buy what I like. And while those things were true, something inside of me said, just listen. So I listened to my mum and her wisdom, and we went into another shop, and I'm telling you, what I would have spent on that designer set of underwear, I got about 6 or 7 in somewhere else, in another shop. So yes, if you're shopping on a budget and you want to look good for less, then my next tip, or this tip, is to shop around. Don't just buy the first item that you see, because you could get something cheaper somewhere else. So my third tip for looking good for less is to shop in the sales. Now when I say shop in the sales, I assume you would have already seen an item that you liked prior and you've been watching that item. It could be like I was watching a blazer and it sold out, and then it went on sale, and then when I checked the shop online, they had my size and it was cut down again, the price. So when I say shop in the sales, not only can you get a discount, but again you can get your money stretching. Your money can stretch longer if you were to buy the first item that you see, or the item when it's not discounted. So if you want to shop and look good for less, then look out for the sales. There's Black Friday sales, there's the Boxing Day sales just before Christmas, there's January sales. I also have seen a lot of videos of minimalists in the fashion industry, and they only shop at specific times, and they do this in bulk. So they're literally saving their money all year, and then they will just splurge twice a year for each season that they need. So that's quite an interesting concept that you can also adapt if you want to. Obviously the advice that I give out is mine, but you don't have to take it all. You can take it with a pinch of salt, you can apply it, you can not apply it, so it's totally down to you. But yes, that would be my third tip, which is to buy on the sales and save yourself some money. And the fourth tip would be to shop secondhand or thrifted. And I know people are like, no, I don't do that, that's nasty, blah blah blah. Actually it's not. I think I had that idea the same way. You sort of been in a few charity shops and I'm like, oh, there's got a funny kind of smell and there's a few stains and it's like, ugh. And to be honest, I don't necessarily shop in those shops. I choose to shop online, so I do buy secondhand a lot of the time on places like Depop, which is an app you can download on your phone. You can make offers and you find a lot of reasonably priced clothes that have been used, and 9 times out of 10 they're in top tip quality. I've never had an issue where I've had something with stains down it or it needed to be repaired. You can always ask before you buy those types of questions if you have them, and like I said before, they have a new feature where you can make an offer. So if you wanted to get the item for less, say the item's £50, you could say, hey, can I buy it for £30? And the seller can get back to you and you can kind of negotiate, and it's really good. I find a lot of good quality items on Depop that I wouldn't find in the shops because they're sold out. So if that is something that you want to try, why not? You know, I would say broaden your horizon. Do not just stick to the high street. If you want to save money, the stuff in the high street is going to cost you more, and you may not find such unique pieces as I have done when I've shopped on eBay or Depop. There's Vinted, there's Shpock, I think there's a few others as well. So depending on your locality, just have a look around and see what you can find that's either secondhand, thrifted, and it could even be from your friends or family. You might want to meet up and do a swap, or buy something off of your friend, you know, or borrow your friend's top. So I don't really see what the problem is with that. Just make sure it's your size, and that you're comfortable in it, really. And if you don't tell anybody, nobody's gonna know. Okay, and so my very last tip, my fifth tip for how you can look good for less, is to rewear your clothes. Now, there is this meme that I've seen which says, nobody saw me out in my outfit today, so I'm going to wear it again. I absolutely love that, because that is me to a T. I am not one of these people who are or is ashamed to wear my clothes more than once. I think that's the whole point. Your clothes have been made to be worn and not just thrown in the bin or discarded, you know, once the season ends or once you've had enough of it. So it's definitely a thing that I have found that saves me money, is not always having to buy something brand new, but instead, let me see if I've got that black top in my wardrobe, or if I've got something similar that I can wear, perhaps style it with different accessories, pair it with something new, and in that way you've still got your basic piece, but you can do so much more with it, and that way your money stretches. So that would be my last tip on how you can look good for less. So we have come to the end of the video. As always, I hope you have enjoyed today's video and content. Please leave me a like, consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video.